Slow Homestead. I'm Carol, and today I'm going to plant some seeds indoors. The first thing to do is to get the soil prepared. So let's go. Here's my box of seeds for this year, and right there it says March Indoors. And I'm going to reach behind here, get out these 2 packets of seeds, celery and peppers. And I'm going to take these out on the porch with me as I go to get that soil prepped. I have a container of soil right here. It's potting soil, and I want to strain out the large chunks that you will often get in potting soil, like this piece of wood right here. I don't want those in my little pots and have to have my little seeds try and push that out of the way in order to germinate. So I'm going to sift all of this soil to get things out of it like this. Now this soil is dry, and also I do not want the dust from working with this soil to come up into the air and get in my face or get in my eyes. So I'm going to moisten the soil first and then sift it. I have some water in this watering can right here, so I'm going to use it to moisten this soil. I don't think I'll need all the water in this can, but I'm not sure. So let's just start with about that much. And then I'll just stir it around with my hand. I don't want the soil to be soggy. There's another pretty good sized stick. I think it's funny that they put those in potting soil, because even if you put them in your garden, it would take a while for something like that to decompose. Oh, the dust is coming up from this, so I may need all of the water in this watering can. We'll see. I have this sifter that I borrowed from my son. I've used it before to sift rock. It's 1/2 inch hardware cloth. I would rather have 1/4 inch, but this is what we have right now. So I'm going to use this and see what chunks I can get out of this soil. Let's try a handful. Well, that's pretty good. I'll show you what I got. Okay, so just out of that handful, I don't know if you can see it, my gloves are dark and the chunks of wood are dark, but I got a little handful just out of, you know, grabbing some and putting it through this. All right. Oh, there's another one. Okay, let me do a few more. Some of the soil is actually in clumps that are not chunks of wood, but clumps of soil. So I have to press those and get them to go through the screen. But there's 3 or 4 more chunks right there of sticks. Throw them in my garbage can over there. You know what? That potting soil looks a lot better already. I'm impressed. So I'm going to continue taking this soil that I moistened and sifting it through the screen and see how it looks when I'm done. there's the sifted soil. I kind of wish that I had the 1/4 inch hardware cloth instead of a 1/2 inch. That would make it even finer, but this is better than it was. And this is what I got out of it. All those chunks of wood. I'm glad those are gone out of the soil. Okay, now I am going to fill up some little 6-packs and we are going to plant them. First of all, I'm going to fill up these 3 6-packs right here. Not only is it pretty easy to do, but if you like to get your hands dirty, it's a lot of fun to do. I'm just going to let them settle a little bit by hitting the bottom of the container there. I don't want it to be really packed, you know, like pressed down tight, but settled. Just settled. Okay, I have a tray here that I'm going to put the 6-packs in. There's 2. Well, I spilled some. Haste makes waste, right? Don't forget to take it slow, or you might waste something. I'm just going to dump that soil back in. It was just a little bit, but I didn't want to waste any of it. Okay, one more. And I'm going to be planting either the celery seeds or another piece of wood there. Either the celery seeds or the pepper seeds. I'm going to have 3 of these 6-packs for celery, 3 for green bell peppers. Because you know, I don't do hot. Okay, here's the other 3, so I'm going to get those filled up now. I have all of these 6-packs filled now, 6 of them. 3 of them will be for sweet bell peppers. 3 of them will be for celery. So let's just start with a couple of pepper seeds. This is what they look like. I'm going to put 2 pepper seeds in each cell. I have 18 cells, so that would be 36 seeds. So what I discovered one day was that if I put the seeds on top of the soil, I'll do this one right here, 1 there, 1 there, and then I take a little tiny skewer. You don't have to use the pointed side, you can use the other side, they're both small sides, and I can take that seed and press it down into the soil. They're supposed to be 1/4 to 1/2 inch on these pepper seeds. So I can just take the tip of this little stick, push them down in there, put some soil on top of it, press it down slightly, put a little bit more soil on, but don't press it down. I want to be sure that the seeds are secure in there, but I don't want to press them down too tight because they do need the ability to germinate, to expand. So in each one of these cubicles, each one of these cells, I'm going to put 2 pepper seeds. The difference between these pepper seeds and the celery seeds, besides the fact one makes peppers, one makes celery, when you're planting the celery seeds, you can hardly see the seeds at all because they look like little tiny grains of black pepper. So I think I can move this up just a little bit. You may be able to see, I think you can see those seeds a little bit better. So I'm just going to press them into the soil. About 1/4 of an inch. Cover it with the soil, press it down. Just kind of sprinkle a little bit more soil on the top, but don't press it down anymore. That's just the way I do it. I'm sure there's lots of different ways. So when you get your seeds, read on the packet what it says and follow the directions the best that you can. Get in there, little seed. Press, press, sprinkle, sprinkle. Press it down, press it down. Make sure it's covered with soil. Found a stick. Press it down a little bit, not too hard. Cover them. Press it. And press it. And cover it. Sprinkle some dirt on top. Like that. I'm going to do that with this 6-pack and this 6-pack now. Now we'll give them a little drink. I'd prefer to use a spray bottle, but my spray bottles are on the blink. If you put these out in the sun, plastic knives with permanent marker, they will fade. But for in my house, I think it'll be okay. All right, now let me show you these celery seeds. Like I said, they're really tiny. It's just like if you buy celery seed for cooking, same thing. See how tiny those are? Just like pepper. So what I'm going to do is sprinkle them around in here. It actually says 1/4 of an inch. So I think after I sprinkle them around, I can't remember what I did last year for sure, but I'll sprinkle them around and then I'm going to take my little stick and kind of stir them up a little bit, like that, and then pat them lightly, and hopefully they will germinate. There's the stick. Put it right there. These 3 are celery. These 3 are peppers. And as you can see, I pulled out a few more sticks and threw them in this area right here. So the next time I am in town, I am going to get me some hardware cloth that is 1/4 inch and make me a sifter, especially and specifically for potting soil. And then when I sift the next batch of potting soil, I won't have all these little sticks to deal with. I think it's crazy that they put them in there. So I know that they are assuming that you're putting that potting soil into bigger pots, but you know, a lot of people use the potting soil for their seed starting, and which is perfectly fine. So I wish that it was just a little finer, a little better to use so that we wouldn't have to deal with the sticks, but we do. So whatever challenges come our way, we figure it out, right? We hopefully figure it out. So I'm going to put these out in my porch where the sun will shine through the windows. And I also have a heat mat out there, so I think I might put them on that until they germinate. Another thing I can do is cover them with, if I had a plastic cover, I could use that, or just plastic wrap. You can cover them with plastic wrap until they germinate. Once they start germinating, you take the plastic wrap off. You don't want the little seedlings to be forcing their way up into the plastic wrap and not be able to go any higher than that. So you have to be careful when you're using that. Keep your eye on them. Make sure that when they're germinated that you take that plastic wrap off. Also, they don't need as much heat from underneath after they've germinated. You can keep the heat mat on your peppers if you'd like. They're kind of heat loving. Last time I kept my heat on them until they were a little bit bigger. So that's the plan. And then I am going to go back to my little file, my seed organizer, and I'm going to go to the one that says March. And behind that is my peas I showed you the other day. And I'm going to soak them. I will soak them tonight and tomorrow afternoon. I think it's supposed to be a little bit warm again tomorrow afternoon. Then the plan is to plant my peas tomorrow after they're soaked. I always try to soak my peas first because they germinate sooner if I do. All right, so that's it for today. I hope that if you're in a climate like mine, I am in about 5,900 feet above sea level. I'm in a high desert. We don't get the rain like they do in the south, but we do get snow in the winter and hopefully thunderstorms in the summer, sometimes a rainstorm here and there in between those two seasons. Well, what I'm saying is, I hope that you're planting your seeds either indoors or out, depending on the climate that you're in. And I hope you're having fun getting your hands dirty. I had a great time today getting mine dirty. And always remember that even when you take it slow, you can accomplish a lot. Thanks for watching.